Welcome to Navigating Marketing and AI with Sydne Mullings, the podcast that unravels the dynamic intersection of marketing strategies and the cutting-edge world of artificial intelligence.
Hi, I'm your host, Sydne Mullings. Today, I have the privilege of chatting with Fiona Carney, the Chief Marketing Officer of Microsoft EMEA. Fiona oversees a diverse portfolio spanning Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Leading a talented team of marketing professionals, Fiona strategically drives Microsoft solution initiatives across these vast regions. And what adds a special dimension to today's conversation is that I have the distinct pleasure of working closely with and learning from Fiona every day. Welcome to the show, Fiona.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
I'm excited for the conversation. To kick things off, could you share a bit about your career journey and your background?
So, as you say, I work in EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I'm actually based in Ireland. So my background actually started in consulting with Accenture and KPMG. And then I moved into Microsoft, where I've been for the last 17 years. And today I am very privileged to look after the EMEA marketing organization and to land all of our go-to-market and marketing strategies for Microsoft.
So given the expansive nature of your role and the unique perspective you have on the potential of leveraging AI to enhance and accelerate the work of not only your team within Microsoft, but as well as for our customers, I'm really interested in what you may be hearing about in trends as an example. While we have some similarities across our regions, I know there's some differences as well. Like we both leverage our marketing engagement index as an example, which leverages learning models. But what are you hearing or learning about in your region?
I think we all use a lot of customer and market insights that really help us to inform the marketing strategy that we have. I think particularly in Microsoft, given it's such a global company like many other big tech companies, it's so important, Sydney, to have the global lens. But certainly from an overall kind of customer and market insights, I would say in EMEA, we start to really think about what are some of those local nuances that we need to take into account. And I'll give you an example. Most recently within the cybersecurity space, we have a new directive coming in. It's called NIS 2. And NIS 2 is a regulatory directive that will come in from October. Something like that is quite market specific. It's something that will, be relevant for certain industries, but maybe not for all, for certain countries, but maybe not for all. But those type of business critical elements, our customers do absolutely want to know, how can we help them on those journeys? I think the other side of things is customer behavior. And you mentioned our marketing engagement index. I mean, really, when we think about our marketing strategy, we are looking at those customer behaviors. We're looking at what kind of content our customers are engaging with us on. We're looking at if certain white papers are, social aspects and content are resonating well. And we're looking at what stage in their journey they are interacting with us. I think we look at market trends as well. So we will look at analyst reporting, we will look at seller insights, and we will really try and make sure we're taking a step outside of our own internal lenses. And then finally, and this is critical for everybody, we really look at competitive analysis. So we think about our social listening, we look at various other data reporting tools that we have to really understand share of voice, what's resonating, what's not, and how are we doing against our competitors, so that we can really try and tweak our go-to-market strategy and our marketing strategy as we need to.
Yeah, I love some of those examples you gave. And certainly, that share of voice, the analyst insights, the competitive insights, all those are really critical. So how are you thinking about your event strategy? And how are you looking at even the impact of some of the new technologies and how you're progressing in market with events?
In some ways, I think people often affiliate marketing only with events, which of course it's not. It's much broader than that. And events are really important. And I don't really even think of them as just events. I think it is about the ongoing customer engagement that we have from the beginning of the life cycle and throughout. And so what I've certainly noticed is that in some markets, the really large summit in-person events are where people come to do business. In other parts of our market, they prefer to come to the office and do smaller roundtable events. And then again, depending on at what stage of their journey they're on, at the beginning of the life cycle, they may want to just get involved with some digital events, not necessarily moving outside the comfort of their office or home.
And what's awe-striking, and I get to live this every day with you, is the variety of markets that you're working in, right? Being able to reach customers where they are and how they want to engage with us. Where I'd love to talk to next is about AI. There's so much excitement about AI and what opportunities it's bringing. I'd love to hear your thoughts about AI and how you're marketing Copilot.
I know certainly from a marketing perspective, we are seeing some really fantastic results out of using AI within our content management. When we think about images and creative briefs, and really how it's helping us to be a lot more productive in how we're able to actually generate, summarize, and use our content. So it's a game changer already when it comes to that side of things. But I think the other area where we're really seeing a benefit of AI is in our data analysis. And when you think about the amount of data that we have in Microsoft, and you think about the number of customers that we're engaging with on a daily basis, AI is a huge help for us in terms of analyzing that data, in terms of applying various different lenses to it. And then we can also get a good lens on industry. We can get a good lens on size of market. And we can get a good lens on what our different markets need based on their diversity. And again, in EMEA, with 126 markets that we are looking after, that is a fantastic opportunity. And then you mentioned Copilot. So, of course, Copilot is everywhere. I hope everybody has heard of it at this stage. And for us, we've been tackling Copilot probably in 2 or 3 different ways. I think the first is just generating that overall market awareness with all of the various different Copilot offerings. And as you know, they span across multiple different solution areas and will get built into many of the products people are using and solutions people are using every day. And so the second piece is really understanding and taking a step back of what are we now learning? We know that there's productivity gains, but where are they showing up? What are the behaviors? Which leads really into the third piece, which is around usage and consumption of the technology and how are people adopting it. I think we've got a massive job to do around readiness and internal learning. And our customers and ourselves, we need to really start thinking about this. So I would say it's a hugely exciting time. It's an exciting time for technology, for industry, and for marketing and marketing professionals. And I think there's so much we can do, which is going to be great for the future.
And I love you walking through both the kind of internal benefits to you and your own employees, as well as some of these early thinking in market and how it's really impactful across multiple industries. So for our final question, as other leaders are starting to explore, as they're starting to get started down their journey of AI or generative AI or with copilots, what are some advice or some tips you would give them as they're getting started?
I think in the end of the day, everything is about small steps and small increments, right? And I think the very first thing I would say is start thinking about what are your use cases? What are the various things that you do every day in your role, in your industry, in your function, where you think generative AI could actually be useful? And then I think there's a huge piece of work to be done, Sydne, around change management, around having, many companies do different things on this, but whether it's having champs and people who are going to be on point, whether it's a mixture of people that are early in career, different stages of their career to be on point to help start championing it. And then I think really importantly as well as role modeling from a leadership perspective. I know that's something we're also trying in Microsoft, right? We're trying to make sure that we're clear. Hey, we've used Copilot to summarize the meeting we've just had, or here's a presentation that I just did with Copilot. This is what I learned, worked and didn't. All of those things. It's like we were laughing the other day. We were saying, did you get a manual when Word came out? And many of us could still remember when Word came out. And we were saying we didn't get a manual, but at the same time, some people can use Word and they can use it day to day, but others can do really complex mail merges using Word, and there's everything in between. So I think with generative AI, it's going to be the same. You're going to get out of it what you put into learning about how to use it. And that to me is probably the kind of critical juncture that we're at. And so really learning from other customers in market, learning from partners who have gone down the path and are a bit more experienced on this. I think even now, the opportunity for larger companies to learn from startups and vice versa.
Right.
That would be what I would say, just one step at a time, and try and make sure you've got the readiness in place, you've got the change management in place, and that you're getting the value that you want out of it. Because in the end of the day, the whole hope and intent will be that this is taking away some of the more operational, mundane and time-consuming tasks from us, so that our teams and our people can actually be working on what's really value add and can, have more time on what's really important. And that's the bit that excites me the most about the future in terms of AI.
I loved getting to hear what you said and that advice to other leaders to just get started. It's about small steps, figuring out their use cases, and just getting excited about the potential of what AI can deliver in their organization. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today, Fiona. I appreciate so much hearing your story and your insights.
Thanks, Sydney, and I will see you soon. Take care.